did a performance called Goliath Raised for War. Has read the book, and in that performance I invented the character Goliath. And in order to show him to people who he was, I had these bristles all over his face. And the story was that Goliath, when he was a baby, had little bitty... I was born and reared in Chicago. I used to be a stammerer. In grade school, when the time arrived when we could choose our own seats, I sat behind the fattest girl. Often that would be Brenda T., call her that, where, once positioned, I bent low, my head at desktop level, and hoped that when the time came for me to stand and read aloud, the teacher wouldn't notice me. Or if she did, she would be humane enough to pass me by, which often, but not always, was the case. During my sophomore year in college, I was slouching my way toward a B.S. in economics, which somehow I received. One day, standing to speak in class, drenched in sweat, in a way similar to the way a fever breaks, I spoke, words came out. Truth is, I had nothing of substance to say, and I believe I may have been a nuisance to my peers, always jumping to my feet and issuing forth. What I enjoyed, and this may be it, was the intricate way my tongue and lips, working together, conspired to shape the furious nonsense that filled my ears with such pleasure. I suppose the reason I hate theory so much can be traced to my stammering and the impact it had on my basic schooling, those rightly identified stepping stones, which is what I suspect my teachers had been attempting to impart to me while I hid. And it isn't that I don't believe that a mystery lurks beyond the screen of our lives. I do. And I remain impressed by both ancient and current original thinkers who have tapped their noggins against the wall of that mystery, just as I relentlessly and in many cases hopelessly tapped my noggin against translations of their works. My problem is not with gods, but with religion, with obscure and convoluted dogmas issued forth with evangelical zeal. In the arts, in art schools, this produces an ever-shifting load of sameness. Much of my work has sprung from play, the suspension of knowing, just beginning. If a beginning interests me, I continue, and once begun, of course, all work is guided by the necessities of form. The voiceovers accompanying many of the works documented in this website are what I think now, not what I thought then when I was making them. I have earned a living teaching art, and against the facts on the ground, I continue to believe that it is possible, or should be possible, to educate a humane and societally engaged person by training them in the arts. It's difficult to live your life allegorically in Kansas City, but it's not dangerous like it would be in Ankara or Istanbul. To do a Wattle and Daub storefront theater takes a lot of people. One performance I used a church choir, and in that performance there were about 60 people who helped out. I've used a ballet dancer quite often, but in all the time I did it, I always wanted to work with a tap dancer. I always wanted to work with a tap dancer.